Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ONTL Geek. Back here in singles, taking a little bit of a break from our electrifying teams tournament to bring you the conclusion of this little four-player picture that we have here. We started out with four players: Robert Castner, Caleb Coho, this guy right here, Eli McCaig, and Antonio Chavez. All four guys playing for the opportunity to get that last captaincy spot for trios. We got three spots solidified at the moment. Waiting for that fourth one. And right now, both Robert and Eli, winning their matches, are going to play tonight to see who gets that last spot. With me on the desk is one of the players who was playing for that position but lost to Robert Castner. It is Caleb Coho. Coho, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I think this is going to be a good contest. We know what Robert can do. And Eli has been here long enough that no one is going to tell you what Eli can or can't do anymore. So I think this is going to be a good match.
Yeah, we're coming up on about 5 years, I think, of Eli doing this. So he is no stranger to any of this whatsoever. But enough from us. We'll see what these two guys have to say right now in promos.
Hi, everybody. I'm back to go up against Robert Castner. And you know what? Robert Castner is a great player. I've played against him once in teams. Sure, me and Joe were able to pick up the victory, but I can never deny that Robert Castner is one of the best Geek players that I've ever seen. I mean, his record alone speaks for itself, and I am not looking down upon him. I am looking forward to seeing how this match plays out, and I am hoping that I can get this victory so I can be a captain. So, Robert, good luck to you, and yeah,
Yes, we're here. We're doing captain-y things. I have to say that throughout my singles career in ONTL, I've never lost a 3-round match. Not in singles. In teams, I have to the gentleman who I'm playing against now, as well as some other ONTL teams things. But when we talked about who I was going to play between Eli and Antonio and who I wanted, part of me was like, I really want to play Eli because I felt like I screwed the pooch in that team's match, that number one contender match, which is why we ended up being 11th seed, which was silly. So I want to sort of rectify that a bit. Eli's been very impressive in this run. I'm very surprised, very impressed, though. So I'm not going to take this lightly. We want to have authority. This is what it's about. We want to be all powerful. And the way to do that is to win this last match. So Eli, good luck. But I want the power.
Well, it seems that they all want the power. Back in my day, everyone just wanted to fight the power.
Dude, you're on fire with the terrible dad jokes.
Yeah, it's that was horrible. Anyway, players look ready.
Oh, it's like Run DMC. That's the people who do that, right?
We'll get right into the match. Introducing first, with a record of 4 wins and 1 defeat, he is Eli McCaig. And his opponent, with a record of 7 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 knockout, he is Robert Castner. Welcome in, gentlemen, to this match. Round 1 works like this. You get 10 questions from 10 different geek categories. Each question is worth 1 point apiece. You get 20 seconds to answer each and every question. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you don't get anything. If any player does get all 10 questions correct, they will receive a bonus question to them. And there are 3 repeats and a challenge throughout the remainder of the match. Are there any questions before we hop into round number 1?
No.
Awesome. Love it. So I'll get you started with your first question in the wizarding world. In Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which chess piece does Ron sacrifice himself to in order to let Harry and Hermione advance to the next room? You ever played chess?
Yeah, I actually used to have a chessboard that was all Pirates of the Caribbean characters. It's pretty great.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was just
I don't want to elaborate on the pieces because that's about pieces.
Well, all the pieces were just characters, so I couldn't tell you what the pieces were. There's one of them was Jack Sparrow.
Pens down. We're going to start with Robert.
I have a Mario chess piece, Queen.
And Eli.
I said bishop.
Queen is correct. So Robert taking that early 1-point lead. So get to your next question, Coho.
Your next question comes in the category of Star Trek. Which Star Trek film features a transporter accident aboard the Enterprise, killing a crew member? So yeah, the chessboard, it was two sides, and both sides were different. Like there was the good guy side and the bad guy side.
Was it like good guys in like Curse of the Black Pearl or good guys in Dead Man's Chest?
Like the whole series? So like on the good guy side, you had like Jack was like the king, Elizabeth was the queen, Will was like the knight. But on the other side, it was like Davy Jones was the king, and I think Beckett was the queen, and it was like a bunch of like Barbosa was like a bishop.
He dresses like a queen.
Beckett was quite the queen.
Beckett was the queen.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're gonna go to Eli.
I'm drawing up blanks tonight.
Robert.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture is correct. So Robert draws another point. So we get to your next question. In Marvel. In X-Men First Class, at what type of location does Eric first confront someone about Schmidt's whereabouts?
So your favorite X-Men movie? Go.
Days of Future Past.
Yes. Okay.
It was Endgame before Endgame. What can I say?
It's Endgame if it came after like the Winter Soldier. Just right after the Winter Soldier. It's like that's it.
Literally like 6 weeks after the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it'd be great if all the movies were like.
It was a banger time to be going to the movies.
It was a banger time going to the movies.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're gonna go to Robert
I had bar and then I switched to bank.
and Eli.
I unfortunately said bar.
Bank is correct.
All right, guys. Your next question comes in the category of DC. Who plays Ace, aka Bat Hound, in DC League of Super Pets? Movie's dope. It's a good one.
I'm probably gonna watch it at some point in the next week or so.
You should. It's like quite fun. I enjoyed it a lot. These DC like animated movies.
Like I know nothing about the actual plot, just like because like at work we have like our TV set up with like our own sort of channel, and it's always like featurettes about League of Super Pets, and I still have no idea what that movie's about.
That movie, the plot doesn't
I know
matter.
literally all the
No,
actual-
it doesn't.
Jokes.
I thought about watching it, but good to know
It is-
this questions were gonna come up.
All incredible jokes.
1. Pens down. We're gonna go to Eli
Kevin Hart.
and Robert.
One of the things I knew, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart is correct. Eli gets on the board,
Finally.
and we go to your next question. In Star Wars, in The Rise of Skywalker, when the group travels to Pisana, which character stays behind to be with Leia?
So that movie is so unhinged. I wish you could just understand.
What,
It's like
Rise of Skywalker? I agree.
oh, that's also unhinged, but it's unhinged in a bad way. That movie's unhinged in a bad way. League of Super Pets is unhinged in like the best way. That one's
I
just
saw the thing with like Black Adam. I had no idea if that was actually in the movie or if that was just like a weird Fortnite thing they made so that people would think it would be in the movie.
see he like Black Adam's gonna be in everything ever, all at once.
4, 3, 2.
The Rock is 4 characters in that one movie.
Pens down. We'll go to Robert
Went back and forth. I said R2.
and Eli.
I said Rose.
R2 is correct.
All right, guys. Your next question comes in the category of Middle Earth. During the prologue of Fellowship of the Ring, how specifically did Isildur lose the One Ring? You like these so much more than I do.
I do. I was about to ask you a question about a ring, and I remembered something we talked about in California, and then I decided against it.
Oh no. But speaking of rings, Rings of Power, good show, bad show. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
There's no rings in it. I'll tell you that much.
No, it's
False
That's what they build.
advertising.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. I'm going to hell. We're going to Eli.
I said he was attacked by orcs and it fell in a river.
And Robert.
I didn't know what you meant. I said killed by bandits and lost in the scuffle. I didn't know what you
We'll accept Eli's answer because he mentioned the orcs. He was specifically killed by the orcs.
Okay.
That is what we were looking for. So Eli is correct. Robert does not get the point, and unfortunately, there are no more perfect rounds. So we get to your next question in mixed bag. Who composed the score for 300? I can't wait for the sequel, 600.
I can't wait for the 525,600.
Just wanted to
Wow.
start singing because of you, Caleb.
How long have you been holding that one in?
Since the question started being asked.
Yeah. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Robert.
I don't think it's right. I went with Old Standby Hans Zimmer.
Okay. Eli.
I said Junkie XL because that's also not right.
Both incorrect. He did the sequel. Junkie XL did the sequel, but it's Tyler Bates.
Oh, he's a man.
All right. Your next question comes in the DCEU. In Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, when Batman saves Martha from Kniasev's flamethrower, what does Martha say gave him away that he was a friend of Clark's?
When I wrote the question, I forgot to remind myself, hey, no one else asked this but me because they're going to butcher it. And then I remembered, oh, it's you. You're not going to butcher it. You've seen these movies like 15 times.
I'm not going to butcher the fucking Russian guy's name. I've seen the movie an embarrassing amount of time.
He's the only dude who remembered Florian Montanou playing Razor Fist. So.
Maybe it's the paranoid nature of when you're like run the show for so long. You're like, you got to know all the hard names. You have to know them all.
2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Eli.
The Cape.
And Robert.
Remember the show on NBC, The Cape?
Cape is correct. Oh, God. Yeah.
That's a pull.
That's a core memory unlocked right there.
Yep.
So we get to your penultimate question in the MCU. In Ant-Man and the Wasp, where do Scott, Hope, and Hank go to retrieve Scott's original Ant-Man suit? Yeah, so for those of you at home, The Cape was this really fucking weird vigilante show on NBC that ran for, I think, like half a season maybe before it got canceled.
But the most important thing is it was a funny community joke, which led to the mantra 6 seasons in a movie.
It's true.
6 seasons in a movie.
Come true.
And now it's come true. Now it's come to fruition. We all did it.
When they save Troy from pirates, it's going to be the best movie ever.
Oh my God. That is
Johnny
3,
Depp is the lead pirate.
2,
I would
1.
die. I would die.
Hands down. We'll go to Robert.
It's at Cassie's school.
And Eli.
I also said Cassie's school.
That is correct.
Guys, and your final question of the round will come in the category of sci-fi killers. What was the first alien film to use the term xenomorphs? Current score, I believe, 7-4. Close game.
That is also what I have.
I was gonna make a joke, and then I realized we can't make those jokes.
I feel like I was about to make the exact
I was
same
going to make a joke,
joke.
but then I realized not only is Adelaide Smith's not here, they would not appreciate being the butt of a joke that is going out to people.
I mean, they're fine with most.
Yeah, they wouldn't be okay with that one. Not publicly.
2, 1. Pens down. We'll start with Eli.
Alien versus Predator?
And Robert.
I said Aliens.
Aliens is correct. So at the end of round number 1, Robert has doubled up his lead on Eli's 8-4. 8-4. So we'll head into round 2. which works like this, with 3 categories chosen from our randomizer. Those categories today being Star Wars, quotes, and DC. Each category corresponds to 5 questions with 2 points apiece, with the option for multiple choice going down to 1 point. All 3 players have their 3 piece and challenges left. Are there any questions before we hop into round number 2?
No.
Perfect. So, Robert, you're in the lead. Do you want to choose your category first or second?
I'll choose first, and I'll
Okay.
choose Star Wars.
Want Star Wars? And Eli, do you want quotes or DC?
It all depends on what I want to put in round 3. I'll just go DC. We'll have quotes in round 3. Why not?
Yay! Second match in a row.
Love it. Not shocked at all. All right, Koho, why don't you go ahead and give Eli his questions in DC?
All right, Eli, your first question in the category of DC. In Green Lantern, what does Hal create with his ring to keep him from being sucked into the sun during his final battle with Parallax?
2 fighter jets.
That's correct for 2 points. Your second question. What was the first Batman movie to feature the location Arkham Asylum?
I believe that is Batman Forever.
That's correct for 2 more points.
A tie game.
Italian. What profession does Nathaniel Burke have at the beginning of Steel?
Multiple choice, because I have an idea.
Your options are A, weapons developer, B, soldier, C, senator, or D, journalist.
I believe he is a soldier.
That is correct for 1 point. Your penultimate question in DC. In what city does Edward Bailey attempt to detonate the Nightshade bomb in Red 2?
Is it London?
London is correct for 2 points. And your final question in DC. How many DC Superman movies feature the character Perry White?
Multiple choice, just to make sure.
Your options are A3, B4, C5, D6.
Okay. Six.
As incorrect, Robert, the chance for the 1 point steal. Your options again are A3, B4, C5, D6.
I'm gonna say 5.
5 is correct for the 1 point steal.
Movies being the first 4 Superman films and Superman Returns.
The whole Donnery continuity. So that,
Oh,
right.
yeah, I'm an idiot.
All right.
that brings
So,
Eli's score up
the
to
end of
11.
Eli's. I'm sorry, what?
That brings Eli's score up to 11, and Robert, with that, still getting up to 9.
That is what I have. 11 to 9. All right. So, Robert, here are your questions in Star Wars. Are you ready?
Cool. Yep.
Your first question. Which Star Wars film features a character losing a body part inside a droid factory?
Attack of the Clones.
That's correct. 2 points.
Tie game.
In A New Hope, how many TIE fighters each do Han and Luke destroy when escaping the Death Star?
They each destroyed 2.
That is correct for 2 points. We'll lead right back. What rank is Poe demoted to after the destruction of the Dreadnought in The Last Jedi?
Captain.
That is correct. 2 points. Fourth question. In Rogue One, when Saw and Jin reunite on Jeddah, he first asks her if she's come to do what?
Did you?
4.
You didn't hear me,
3.
did you?
What?
To kill him? I said to kill him.
Yes, that is correct for 2 points. Sorry,
Okay.
I did not hear you.
I'm delaying, you're delaying, and it freaks me out because I never know if I'm wrong or not until like 30 seconds afterwards. Sorry.
All right. And your last question. Who is the first person to discover the shield is still up on a second Death Star during the space battle above Endor in Return of the Jedi?
Lando.
That is correct for a clean sweep of Star Wars, giving Robert a total of 19 to Eli's 11. 19 to 11.
That's what I have.
All right, so into round number 3, it's going to work like this. The first 2 categories were chosen, leaving quotes to everyone's surprise for round 3. Each player gets a 2, 3, and a 5-pointer, and then we play until somebody is mathematically eliminated. So, Robert, you also both players have all 3 repeats and their challenge left. So, Robert, you are still in the lead. Do you want set 1 or set 2?
I hate this question. This is the toughest question. Always the toughest question. I don't remember what I picked last time.
There was a dead mouse in the hole, and the tail was sticking out.
Sorry.
It's a very interesting story.
Why don't you take care of that dead mouse?
Yeah, honestly. I'll go with set 2.
Okay. So, Eli, you will get set 1. I'll go ahead and give you your questions in set number 1. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here's your 2-pointer. Which Wizarding World character says the line, "It's sort of exciting, isn't it? Breaking the rules"?
Well, no, Wizarding World character. I'm just gonna say Dumbledore.
That's incorrect. It's Hermione Granger.
Mm.
So Eli has to hit these next 2, both of them, in order to stay in the game. Eli, here comes your 3. Which Star Trek film features Captain Kirk saying the line, "Second star to the right, straight on till morning"?
Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home.
And your winner, by way of technical knockout, Robert Castner. The answer was Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. So, great match from both competitors. Eli just unfortunately could not get over that initial hump of the round 1 deficit, and Robert does get the victory via TKO. So we'll jump right into our post-match interviews, starting with our unfortunate loser today, Eli. Look, I think it was just just a bit of an off day for you all around. 4 in round 1. You did good in DC. You did miss that one question, and then when it came to quotes in round 3, your luck just kind of ran out. So, how you feeling about this?
I mean, when it comes to Robert, he's a great competitor, so I'm fine with this loss. Also, I will say, if I would have won, my brain was thinking like, oh, if I'm captain, I'm gonna have to make a lot of choices. That's gonna be too much for my brain. So I'm sort of okay that I'm not the captain. I also will say, going into round 3, you all heard that opening. I was a little distracted just with everything that was happening in here. So yeah, and for that question I missed in DC, I accidentally counted Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. So my brain right there was already miscounting. So yeah, it's a tough day. Like, again, as you said, rough game. So yeah, that's all I can chalk it up to, and that's all I'm going to be able to chalk it up to.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is, especially with outside distractions. It can be very hard. As somebody who once played a match where someone yelled "yo" into my ear. Yeah, remember that? That was like 3 years ago. It's distracting. But anyway, this does mean the end for you this year in singles. But hopefully we'll see you around in trios. One of our 4 captains, I'm sure, will probably pick you for their team. So we're excited to see you back here for that. And you're also 4-2. So going into next year, you are you still are a top contender in this league. So I'm excited to see what you do next in trios. So we will be excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm also excited for the outcome of the teams tournament, for the teams title. So yeah, I'm excited all round for everything and for the end of this year and for possibly next year.
Absolutely. All right, Eli. Well, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you soon. All right.
Yep.
All right, we'll go to our winner today, Robert. Robert, this is your first TKO in singles. Has to feel good, especially with that captaincy on the line. But today you played a great all-around game. You got 8 in round 1. You ran Star Wars, got a steal there in DC, and you didn't have to answer any quotes questions, so that might be the biggest win for you today.
Yes, indeed. When he missed the 2, which I figured was because he was a bit distracted, I was like, well, then I just have to answer one of the quotes questions. That's what it was. Because the same thing when I played this gentleman here, I was like, man, I really wanted to get the 9-point lead because then I just have to answer a 2, and then I have to fuck around with 3s and 5s and quotes. But fortunately, that didn't come up. 2 questions in round 1. Should have thought about Works. I knew he was a tag. I just forgot. And then Tyler Bates was in my head for 300. Right when you were counting down to like 3, I'm like, maybe it was Tyler Bates. That seems like a Tyler Bates movie. And for some reason, I just didn't want to use a repeat because for some reason, Eli and I just want to take all these home with us because we didn't use anything, which was hilarious. No, it feels good. I only lose to Joe and David in this league, apparently. So that's cool. That will probably come up again at some point. The good thing is that now that I'm a captain, I get to go against them more. Because I think it would be weird if one of them tried to choose me for a teammate. It wouldn't be right. We'd have like a fucking collapse of the space-time continuum or something.
Well, yeah, I mean now we do have our 4 captains set up. We got Joe, we got David, we got Tyler Birch chosen by Brittany after she won the belt, and now we have you. So a really solid collection of 4 players. So you 4 are going to have kind of a pretty even keel amount of players to choose from. So any thoughts on the kinds of players you're maybe looking at for this trios? Like this trios, it can be a little bit different than your normal teams format.
To be clear, because I heard when David did the thing, I listened to it, but then I guess I didn't hear him. We're picking 2 people each, right? Because we're trios with us as the captain. Is that what it is?
That's
right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So is Nick Tuig available?
Unfortunately not. He is not. I am not. We are both done in ONTL Geek.
Okay. So. Bribes would help. If anybody wanted to hang out and, throw a little kickback my way, that'd be neat.
No, I'm Venmo up on the screen. I'm sure somebody's bound to,
absolutely. Yeah. Somebody can, we got all manners of paying off that can't be traced, where we don't have to be in the same room. No, I'm just looking for well-rounded people. Obviously, Eli's right. This does come with it a bit of stress because you got to think about who's the best, who compliments you. You also got to think about people's feelings a little bit, a teensy bit. I got to think about that a little bit. So all those things come into play. But it's just great because it just guarantees that I get to play more, which is the best thing. I like playing in ONTL Geek, and I get to play more, which is good.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you do have a great responsibility ahead of you, but you will sort of get to control your own destiny in terms of who you want to help you, who you want to help get to that number 1 contenders match through trios. So great to see you back here, Robert. Congrats on the win, and we will definitely see you back here, not just for trios, but in teams but later on, probably.
Yep. Well, thank you both for hosting. It was a good time. Appreciate it.
All right, cool. Let's wrap this one up in a bow. Any final thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I just think it ends up coming down to quotes in round 3. It just comes down to Eli being a little distracted there at the end and Robert coming out and putting on a really good show. And I think at the end of the day, both these guys are good at this, and I'm excited to see what Robert does as a captain.
Absolutely. I think Eli, again, has some outside factors distracting him today. Happens to all of us time and time again, especially those of us who live at home. It happens. It sucks, especially in a match like this. But best we can do is to move on with our heads held high. And for Roberts, of course, he has that great responsibility of ahead of him with trios, which should be in a really, really exciting format. All of us here at Geek are really excited about the prospect of this and how it's going to go down. So from all of us here at ONTL Geek, this is the end of another great match. Look back and check out as to how we got here, our other two singles matches that led to this one. Check out the teams tournament, our recent singles title match that just dropped, as well as all of our regular singles and teams matches that are dropping up off on the other side. So for myself, from Eli, from Robert, from Coho, this has been ONTL Geek, and as always, guys, stay cool.